What's up everybody, it's Broken Bones here and welcome to Broken's Bedrock Tutorials. Today we're going to show you how to make an infinitely expandable stone floor generator. Today's tutorial is a challenge by the Redstone Wizard. He challenged me to make a basalt floor generator and a stone floor generator that was infinitely expandable. Last week I built the infinitely expandable basalt floor generator. And just take a good look at how simple this is compared to all of this that we have going on over here. The basalt floor gen is so much simpler because we're only dealing with one liquid, and that's lava. As you can see, if lava goes right over soil and blue ice, it creates basalt. However, stone requires lava and water, and if we break this block right here, you can see the water that flows out, and then it creates stone. One of the other challenges I faced was the fact that cobblestone can form, and we don't want any cobblestone. As you can see, the entire floor is stone. Part of the solution to getting stone every time with this stone floor generator is the size of this engine. It gives it plenty of time to circulate all the way around so that stone can form, and it also gives it enough time for all the lava to clear up. So as you can see here, we have a center piece right here. This is the bit that I'm talking about, and as you can see, it's connected way back here versus the bottom section, which is connected way up here. And what that does is it triggers this top circuit, which actually retracts all of the lava and the water. And so what it does is it does that first, so that way all the lava has time to disappear before it can flow into where the water is going to be and create cobblestone. So let's go ahead and watch this work in real time. If we go ahead and place ourselves a block in right there, it'll go ahead and start the system. And if we come up here, we can go ahead and see that I have a second account on to load the entire thing, because if you don't have a person there, it's not going to work. But now we can see that the lava does get retracted before the whole machine moves, so that way none of the lava flows down into the water, creating cobblestone. So now the lava is able to flow out, making sure that stone is formed every single time. And now it's going to get retracted again. There it goes. And now it's going to go ahead and let it disappear before it pulls back, so that way the water can flow and more stone can form. I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Nebrian Cent. He actually spent quite a long time helping me engineer this, and this was actually such a challenge that it took both of us to figure everything out.
I've been watching what you're doing. It may or may not be possible, I'm not sure.
Nebrian Cent is one of my wicked smart redstone buddies. He has a YouTube channel and he has a lot of cool stuff on there, so I recommend checking him out, and I'll leave his link down in the description. And with that being said, if you guys are ready to learn how to build this for yourselves, then go ahead and smack the like button for me and subscribe if you guys are new, and let's get started with the tutorial. And material lists will be down in the description. To get things started, you're going to need to clear out a space if you're going to be building this underground, which I imagine most of you would be building this in the air, but if you are building it underground, one of these modules is going to be 7 blocks wide, just like this, and the first module, if you're building it any wider, is going to be 64 blocks long. In the basalt floor generator, we were able to build the engine behind it, just like this, over the floor that it would build, but the stone floor generator requires the engine to be above and below the floor, and you can't really pull the engine through the floor once it's built. So say if you're putting this in the tunnel and this is going to be the end of your tunnel, beyond the end of your tunnel, you would have to prepare enough space for this to fit in. And you need to make sure that you have a 1 block gap beyond your flying machines, just like this. So to get things started, we're going to start with your center module, and that's going to be 7 blocks wide. And if you want it to be wider than this, then you can go ahead and extend it to each side in an even amount of 7 block chunks, just like we have right here. So it'd be another 7, 7, 7, 7, and however many you do on this side, you're going to do the same amount on that side from the center. So you can go ahead and prepare that now if you want to. And on the edges of your glass, just like this, of your chunks of 7 blocks just like this, you're going to go ahead and put 2 bits of glass to encase the ends. This does not need to be done every 7 blocks. This is literally just for the outsides of your floor generator. So if it's 100 blocks wide, you're still only going to have these 2 blocks at the very ends. Once you have this in place, you need to make sure that you're going to be going in this direction. Your flying machine, just like that one over there, is going to be making a floor that goes in this direction. So in the direction that it's going to be making a floor in, we're going to put slime blocks just like this, and we're going to go ahead and put 4 on this side and 3 honey blocks on this side. Once we have that in place, we're going to grab our stair blocks. We're going to put a stair there just like this, and another stair here just like that, and you want that to curve just like so, so when we waterlog it, the water doesn't drain out the back. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to turn a stair just like this and another stair just like that. Grab yourself an observer. We're going to place an observer with the red dot facing up just like so, and we're going to place a block there and a block there. Once you have all this in place, go ahead and place in yourself a temporary block on top of that stair block and on top of this stair block. Then we're going to come right around back just like so. We're going to grab ourselves a dispenser. We're going to come down here and make sure that that dispenser is facing down just like that. So the actual nozzle of the dispenser is facing down just like so. so. Go ahead and replace your stair block if you broke it to double check. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, another downwards facing dispenser just like so. Come on down here, place that in there just like that. That'll do just fine. Then once we have that in place, we're going to go ahead and break this temporary block. We're going to grab ourselves an observer. We're going to go ahead and place one in there just like that, so the face of it is this way and the red dot should be facing in towards your dispenser over here. We're going to do the same thing with this one, and you should see that the arrow is facing in towards your dispenser just like that, to where the face is this way, which means the red dot is on the other side. Once you have this complete, go ahead and come around to the other side over here, and then we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a dispenser and place it right on top of this observer just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and take 2 blocks, put one there and put one there. Now we can open up these dispensers and put the contents inside of them, which is going to be a water bucket for the outside one, a lava bucket for the middle one, and another water bucket for this one. Once you've added your buckets of water and lava, then go ahead and take your stone. You're going to place a temporary block there and one out just like this. And then from this glass block to that glass block, depending on how wide you've built your machine here, you're going to go ahead and take stone across the entire length of the back of it. The stone that is right here is going to ensure that the water that comes out is going to flood the entire area that your lava is going to flow on top of, so it'll create more stone. Once you have that in place, we're going to come right around back, and anywhere that you have slime down here, you're going to go ahead and put slime up here. So we're going to go ahead and take 1 slime block there. We're going to bring this all the way out to here. We're going to do the same thing with the honey blocks. We're going to go just like this, just like so. And then if you're going to be building it wider, then you just need to duplicate that over and over again. However, if this is going to be the last module that you have, then on this side, you're going to go ahead and take these slime blocks. We're going to go 1 here and 1 there, just like this. We're going to take ourselves an observer, place it on this back corner one with the red dot facing forward, then take yourself a sticky piston and put it right there on that glass block, so when that moves forward, it brings the glass block with it, making sure that this trough stays sealed off. So now we need to do the same thing on this side. So if you're extending it out this way, you're going to do this on the very end only. So if this is going to have another module next to it, you don't do this right here. You do this to the very last one on this side. So again, we're going to go ahead and take 2 honey blocks just like this. We're going to take ourselves an observer block right there on that back corner and a sticky piston right on the front of it just like this. So again, it'll pull this glass block and seal this trough off. Trough off. That sounds funny when you say it. Trough off. Try it. Say it yourself. Trough off. Trough off. Trough off. But nonetheless, this glass is going to seal that trough off. And so once we do that, we're going to come right around back, and we're going to come right here to the split between the honey and the slime. We're going to come off the slime. We're going to come over just by 1 block just like this. And we're going to go ahead and come right behind the slime and the honey just like so. We're going to grab ourselves 2 sticky pistons, and we're going to face those in there just like this. So the sticky faces are facing into the slime blocks and the honey blocks just like this. So once you have that in place, then we're going to do the same thing down below. We're going to come right down here, come off a block just like that, skipping a block like so, bring that across to where it's split across the honey and the slime, then go ahead and put your pistons on there so the sticky faces are facing in towards the honey and the slime. Once you have these in place, then you're going to come down to the bottom one down here. We're going to place a temporary block there on the bottom, and we're going to come right up here just like this and place an observer facing up so the red dot is facing up just like this into that slime block. Break out your temporary block, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Place another observer so the red dot is facing up just like that. Once you have that in place, go ahead and place in yourself a temporary block there and grab another observer. We're going to face it in there just like this so the red dot is facing into the slime block just like so. We're going to do it again over here just like so. Grab yourself another observer so the red dot is facing in there just like this, and then take out your temporary block. Now, because this build is kind of lopsided, since lava does only take up 7 spaces, so we're going to be working off the middle, which is going to be the same block that the dispenser is on, which is going to be this side of our flying machine. So this side is going to be empty, and we're going to build our engine off of this side. So now what we need to do is we need to come off of this block just like that. We're going to come out a block just like so and come up a block just like that. Grab yourself a sticky piston and come over here and face in this direction, and we're going to go just like this and face that sticky piston in here just like that, so the sticky face is facing into this block just like I did there. Then once we have that in place, we're going to grab another sticky piston. We're going to come down here and put it on that face just like so the sticky piston is facing into that slime block just like that. Next, we need to go ahead and grab ourselves an observer. We're going to face this direction and face it right on top of that piston just like this, so the red dot is facing into this block, which will power that piston. And now we need to power this piston piston. So we're going to grab ourselves a temporary block down there, and then go ahead and grab yourselves an observer and place an observer facing up just like this, so the red dot is facing into that slime block. Once you have this built up, then if you want to expand it any further, then you certainly can. But if you're going to be expanding it, you're going to go ahead and expand everything except for these sides right there and this side right there. This is going to be only for the outside of your build. So if you're going to be expanding it, you need to duplicate what we did here over again on this side and that side in even amounts. And when expanding it, there's a few changes that you're going to make when you're duplicating these across. And if you're going to go large scale, you might want to mark out your center module like I have so you don't forget where it is. You're going to come back to your center module right here, and as you can see here, we have an observer here and we have an observer there facing in opposite directions. This is going to power that dispenser, and that's going to power that dispenser because it's connected to this one. We do not need another observer on this side, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove that observer. We're going to put a block there just like that, so that way we have observers only facing to the right hand side. So again, over here we have one facing to the right hand side. We don't need this one over here, so we're going to get the ones rid of that on the outside just like so. So any of the observers facing in this direction, we're going to get rid of all of those all the way across on each side. And so when you duplicate this across, you don't need to put those in. And now going in the opposite direction, we have a observer facing in the opposite direction. See how the arrow is facing to the left? So anything facing to the right, we don't need. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that one. Same thing over here. Go ahead and get rid of that one. And we're going to do this all the way down the line. So make sure that you don't just put these observers in when you're building it on this side. So if you've duplicated everything correctly, when you look at your center module, you'll have an observer on the right and an observer on the left looking in opposite directions, but every one off to the left is only going to have one observer facing to the left just like this, and everything off to the right is going to have one observer facing to the right just like this. So once you have that done, you're going to come all the way down to the edge of your machine, and once you have the edge, you're going to go ahead and take whatever block this is. It might be honey or slime, and you're going to go ahead and extend this up just like this. Then you're going to go like this underneath this corner with an observer with the red dot facing forward just like that, with a sticky piston and a piece of glass just right there to seal our trough off. On the opposite side, we're going to do the exact same thing, but it should be the other block. Instead of honey, it's going to be slime. So we're going to bring that around just like so, grab our observer, place it in there like that with a sticky piston facing forward and another piece of glass to seal our trough off. Once the edges of your trough are sealed off on both sides, go ahead and come back to your center module, which should be the one with the observers facing in both directions just like this. And again, I did mark it in the beginning, so that is correct. That is right where it is. So once we have that in place, we're going to go ahead and come off of this block here just like so. We're going to come up by 2 blocks and out by 1. Go ahead and break these out, and we're going to go ahead and come across over to the first dispenser right there. We're going to go ahead and bridge out to the first dispenser on this side as well, just like that right there. So we should have ourselves a 7 block wide bar right here from this dispenser to this dispenser and to this dispenser. Once we have that in place, you're going to grab some observers. You're going to come down here like this, and right here on the edge, we're going to place ourselves an observer facing down with the red dot facing down just like this. We're going to come to this dispenser right here. We're going to look straight up, put another observer facing down just like that with the red dot like so. Then come to this dispenser, and we're going to do one more and have another observer facing down. The center one is the only one that's going to have a 7 block wide arm like this. Every other module to the right and to the left only needs to cover 2 of these dispensers. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and come up here just like that, 2 blocks up and 1 block over. Then we're going to go ahead and break those 2 temporary blocks out. We're going to come to this dispenser here because these dispensers are powered by the center one, and we also need to come to this dispenser. So we're going to go ahead and bridge out over to that one just like this. Again, we're going to come down below with an observer with the red dot facing down right above that dispenser. Come over here to this dispenser and go ahead and place another one in just like that. You need to go ahead and replicate that for every flying machine or stone floor generator out that direction. And then same thing on this side. We're going to go just right to here to this dispenser like so. We're going to come up by 2 blocks, out by 1, break out our 2 temporary blocks on the back, and then go ahead and come over to this dispenser here, and then to this dispenser right there. So those are only 4 block wide, while the center one is 7. And we're going to go just like this again. We're going to take ourselves an observer, have it facing down with the red dot just like so, right above that dispenser. Then again, right by this dispenser, we're going to do the same thing with another observer with the red dot facing down. So when you've got this completed, you should see that your center one is a 7 block wide bar just just like this, and that your outer ones are just like this, going from the center dispenser just like so to the very first dispenser right like there, right where your other observer is right here. So again, that's going to be copied all the way down the line. And then same thing on this side, you're going to go from the center dispenser here to the very first dispenser there, and that should only be 4 blocks wide, and you're going to duplicate that down the line. Once you have all these in place, then we're going to come back to your center module here, and we're going to come back to the backhand side here, and we're going to get started on the engine. To do that, we're going to come down here to this observer block right here. We're going to place in a temporary block there and one down just like this. Then go ahead and break that block out, and then just run this line about 60 blocks out. It doesn't really matter exactly how long. This is going to be temporary anyway, so I'm just going to bring it out plenty so that way we definitely don't run out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our observers, and every other block we're going to have one facing up, and we need to count 27 of them. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to do that all the way down to 27. Once you have 27 observers facing up just like this, you can come to the end of all your temporary blocks, come down here, and go ahead and remove all of them. Once you've removed all of your temporary blocks, go ahead and come to the last observer, the 27th one, and go ahead and place in a temporary block right there on the side of it. Then go ahead and grab yourself a sticky piston and have it facing in that direction right above that observer. Break out your temporary block, and then from this point out, we're going to go slime, piston, actually that's a sticky piston, so slime, sticky piston, slime, sticky piston, and you should see that the slime is on top of the observer, and the sticky pistons are in the gap. And you're going to continue this pattern all the way to the front. When you do get to the front, you should see that your slime block is 1 block away from your other machine over here, and that you have 1 gap for your sticky piston to go right there. Once you finish the bottom of your engine, you're going to come to the last sticky piston right here, and we're going to go ahead and put ourselves in 2 slime blocks, 1 there and 1 there, and grab yourself an observer and place it on top of that slime block, facing back just like this, so the red dot is facing into that slime block just like this. On top of this slime block, we're going to put 5 more, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 just like that. And then once you have that in place, go ahead and bring a temporary block up off of that one by 2 blocks just like this, and then bring this arm all the way back to the front. We're going to bring this all the way to your last slime block right here, which you'll see. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and bring this right to there, so it's right in line with this slime block just like this. And then once you have this in place, you're going to go ahead and skip this row of blocks. You're going to come on top of these row of blocks, and we're going to look straight up at this temporary block and put in ourselves an observer with the red dot facing down just like that. We're going to skip 2 blocks and put another observer facing down. So every 3 blocks, you're going to get another observer. So skip 2, put 1, skip 2, put 1, and make sure all the red dots are facing down. And you're going to do that all the way to the end. And when you get to the end, you should see that your observer is 1 block away from your slime block arm over here. And as long as you've done all that correctly, then go ahead and destroy all of your temporary blocks all the way back to the front. Once you get to the front, we're going to be working on this observer right here. Underneath this observer, we're going to place 3 slime blocks. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3 just like that. And you should see that comes level with this slime block arm right here. And if that's so, then go ahead and take yourself a sticky piston and face it in there just like that. So once we have that in place, next we need to go ahead and power this piston. We're going to take ourselves a temporary block on this side, and we're going to place ourselves in an observer just like this, so the red dot is facing into this slime block, and then you're going to reconnect that arm just like so. And that has to be out to the side. Once you're out past this machine, those can be face down, so it's all symmetrical. And then once we have this in place, we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a regular piston, face it in this direction. Then we're going to go ahead and duplicate this again. We're going to go ahead and do a slime block there with a piston just like that. You do not need this arm. That's only for this arm down here. The rest of it is going to be just like this. So we're going to go ahead and do a slime block like that, and then a piston facing forward, and another slime block like this, and another piston facing forward, and you're going to continue that pattern all the way to the back. When you get to the very back, you'll notice that when you place your piston in there, there's no gap in front of it like the rest of them have, and that's correct. That's what it should be. And then once you get to that point, go ahead and place yourself an obsidian block there so your machine doesn't accidentally take off. So once you have your engine built, now we need to actually make the timing for the top section of this just a little bit faster. So how we're going to do that is we're going to come down below, and we're going to count back 9 sticky pistons starting from here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And behind that sticky piston, we're going to come up here just like this. So right here, we need to make sure that we don't exceed the block push limit. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like that, and you're going to have a 1 block gap up there. So 7, 8, 9, 10, just like that. And once you get to 10, you're going to put a sticky piston there, a temporary block down here, and an observer facing up, just like this, so the red dot is facing into that block. Once you have that done, then you're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, just like that, with a sticky piston on the front, and then go ahead and put a temporary block there with another observer facing up, just like this, so the red dot is facing into that slime block. Once you have that in place, then go ahead and bring this slime all the way here, so it's touching that, and then that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, so that does not exceed the push limit. However, if you're expanding this just like we have here in the tutorial, then you're not going to be starting right here, so we're not going to be building any of this. And that's because we have a lot more to do before we get to that part if you're going to be expanding this. So once you have this expanded just like this and everything's built up with your engine and you do not have that middle piece right here just because it's expanded, you're going to go ahead and start at your first module over here on the right hand side. We're going to go ahead and come to the bottom slime block here on the back side, and we're going to come out by 1 block just like this with a slime block 1 block away, and then we're going to go ahead and bridge the gap over to the other machine over here just like that, so it's touching just like that, or not touching but overlapping just like so. Then what you want to do is you want to grab yourself a sticky piston, go ahead and put it in there like that, so the sticky face is on that slime block there, and you want to do the same thing over here just like this, and you should see that this arm right here is 8 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, just like that. So once you have the 2 sticky pistons on there, and then you have the 2 observers, which are going to go right there, and then you're going to have one looking this way, that'll be a full 12 blocks, which is the push limit. Starting from the center out, you're going to go ahead and duplicate that across the board all the way out to the edge. So again, we're going to go out just by a block like this. You're going to skip this little gap right here, and then you're going to bridge these 2 together, just like so, and you're going to build another one of these. So as you can see from the center out, it's just like this, where we have one machine pushing 2 of these modules, and if you get to the end and you don't have another one over here to bridge over to, then just leave it a single one like this, and you can put that observer on the bottom just like that, with the red dot facing up into the slime block. Once you have these in place, now we need to go behind these guys and build 2 more. So we're going to do this again. Go ahead and come out by a block just like this, go ahead and overlap over to the other side. You should see that that's 8 blocks. There's 4 right there, and then another 4 there, so there's 8 in total. Then if we come onto this side, we're going to do this again with a sticky piston on both sides just like this, with an observer facing into both sticky pistons just like this on that side, and just like that on that side. Again, you're going to need to go ahead and skip this little gap right here between these 2, and now we're going to go ahead and pull these 2 with another machine. So again, we're going to come out by a block just like this, and go ahead and bridge over to the other one. That again should be 8 blocks, so there's 4 right there, and another 4 there. Let's go ahead and come over to here, and go ahead and place in ourselves a sticky piston there, and a sticky piston there, with another observer right here facing into that sticky piston, and one on this side also facing into this sticky piston, just like that. Once you've got this set up, then go ahead and come to the inner one right here. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to come out by a block just like this, and this time we're going to count all the way out to the edge just like this. We're going to come even with that one, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Go ahead and place in a slime block 1 block away, and then go ahead and bridge the gap to where it's all the way flush with this one. Once you have that in place, go ahead and grab your sticky pistons, do the same thing right here on this side, put yourself an observer in there just like this, and then do the same thing on this side. We're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a sticky piston just like that, with an observer just like this. Now we don't have a sticky piston over here or over there. This is just a 1 sticky piston arm just like so. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do this one more time and bridge the gap from here over to the other one. So go ahead and bring this all the way across, and again that should be another 8 blocks, so there's 4 and 4, which is 8. So go ahead and put your sticky piston in right there, and another one right there. Grab yourself some observers and place one in there just like this, and another one in here just like that. Once you've completed this pattern and you've brought it all the way back to a single point like this, where we have one machine pushing all of these, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and come to the edge that's closest to our engine, this side, and we're going to go ahead and do this one more time. So go ahead and come out by another one. This time we're going to count 10 blocks. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and do this again. Go ahead and come out by a block and count out 10 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Do it one more time, and we're going to do this all the way until we get to the center. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if you don't make it to 10 and you leave it one block away, that's perfectly fine. Once you have that done, then you're going to go ahead and take your sticky pistons, put them in right there. Take your observer, place it in right there. Make sure that it's facing into that piston right there. Take another sticky piston, place it in right there with an observer facing into it just like this. And then finally one more with a sticky piston right there with an observer just like this right there. Once you have that all done, it should look like this, and it should come all the way into your engine minus one block where you have a gap just like this. Once you have that done, you need to do the exact same thing except mirrored on this side. Once you've got this done on this side, it should look something like this. And then when you have that all done, it should kind of resemble a crossbow, kind of like that. It kind of looks cool like that. So once you have this all done, next we need to come right to the center right here. We're going to come right to this slime block, and we're going to come one back from there. Go ahead and extend this arm to where it overlaps with this slime block here, and then go ahead and place two more slime blocks over here so it overlaps over here as well. Go ahead and take yourself a sticky piston, place it in there just like that on both sides just like so. Down beneath, go ahead and take yourself a temporary block just like this, and then have an observer facing up just like that so the red dot is facing into that slime block just like so. Then go ahead and take another temporary block right here, and then grab yourself an observer and have that also facing up to where the red dot is facing into that slime block like this, and then remove your temporary block. Once you have all this completed up down here, next we need to do the same thing for these guys right here. This arm and that arm, we need to do the exact same thing and build one of these crossbows for these guys. So what we need to do is we're going to come from the center, we're going to skip that little gap right there from the center, and we're going to connect these two guys up with a slime block pusher. So we're going to go ahead and bring out a block just like this. Go ahead and overlap just like that. You should see that that's 5 blocks in total. Go ahead and take a sticky piston there and a sticky piston there, an observer just like this facing into that one, and an observer just like this facing into that one with a 1 block gap in the middle. Go ahead and skip another gap right there, and then right here in this gap, go ahead and come back by a block here just like so. Go ahead and bridge this gap and build another one of those, and then you're going to skip to another gap just like so. Do another one of these right here just like this. Go ahead and bridge that gap as well, and then you're going to skip one, and now that this one doesn't have another one, if that's the case for you, then go ahead and just put yourself in a single slime block just like this, and then you can go ahead and put yourself in a sticky piston just like that with a temporary block right here on the side just like that. So we can go ahead and put ourselves an observer facing just like this right there, and then over here we're going to go ahead and make sure that all of our sticky pistons are facing forward just like this on all of these just like so. Then go ahead and put observers facing into them just like that, making sure that there's a 1 block gap in between those observers all the way across. So now once you have these installed all the way across, it should look something like this. And then once you have that, now we need to go ahead and bridge the gap between these two machines and connect these up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come right off the center one right here. We're going to go ahead and come out a block just like this right there. Go ahead and bridge the gap over to the other center one just like this. You should see that that's 8 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 4 right there, which equals 8. Now this is going to be the maximum push limit because we have 2 observers and 2 pistons, which equals 12 blocks. So now what we need to do is we need to bring this over here so that way it overlaps just like that. Again, you should see that that's also 8 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, plus the 4 blocks that we have here, which equals 12, so we don't increase the push limit. So that arm is going to have to extend over here just for the center one. Then what we need to do is we need to place in ourselves the sticky pistons just like this, and the observers over here just like that. And there's the one sticky piston pusher right there. Now what we need to do is we need to do the same thing for these two right here, but as you can see, we don't need to extend the arm because the arm is right here on the center one just like we have here. So again, we're going to come right off the slime block right there, come all the way across and overlap just like so. Then go ahead and grab yourself a sticky piston, put it on that one just like so. Put another sticky piston on that one. Grab yourself an observer, put it into the sticky piston just like so. And over here, do the same thing, have the observer looking into the sticky piston. So once you've got this done to the length of your machine over here, then go ahead and come to the furthest one. We're going to come right here to this edge of this slime block pusher. We're going to come off by a block just like that, and then we're going to go ahead and come out by 8 blocks just like so, which should bring you to your other center of your other machine right here. Then what we need to do is we need to do the same thing on this side. So we're going to go ahead and bring out a block just like this, and as you can see, we're on the center point of that machine. We're going to bring it all the way to the center point of this machine, and again, that should be another 8 blocks just like so. Once you have that in place, then go ahead and take your sticky pistons, put one right there with an observer looking into it just like this. Then come over here to this slime block, and then go ahead and put a sticky piston facing into it just like like that, with another observer just like this. Once you have that in place, we're going to go ahead and bridge the gap right here again. So go ahead and bridge the gap from here and then go all the way across just like so. That should be 8 blocks in total again. And then we're going to take the pistons and observers and do the same thing. Sticky pistons right there looking in that direction with an observer facing into it, and then another sticky piston right there with another observer facing into it. Once you have this built, now you need to go ahead and duplicate that on the other side as well. And before you duplicate this on the other side just yet, we still need to put a few more of these machines in. So right here from the center one, wherever you have all of these coming to, you have one machine pushing all of these forward just like this. Then once you have that, go ahead and come to the side that's closest to your engine just like this. You're going to go ahead and come off this back slime block here by a block in between just like so. Then we're going to count 10 blocks in this direction. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once we have that, we're going to come back by 2 blocks, break that one out, count another 10 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we're going to do this one more time. So we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and as you can see, we have a block gap right here, and that's where we want to stay. So now once we have that in place, we're going to grab our pistons again. So go ahead and grab your sticky pistons, put one in there just like this with an observer facing into it. Put another sticky piston right here with an observer facing into it. And then on the last one, go ahead and put another sticky piston with an observer facing into it. And now you can go ahead and copy this onto the other side. And then once you have this built up on both sides, it should look something like this. And I know that it can be kind of hard to look at since we have 2 layers of those. It's this top layer right here that we're looking at. Once we have that all done, it should come into the center somewhere around here, and then wherever it is coming in, we're going to go ahead and come off of this block right here, go ahead and come out by another block just like this, and then go ahead and spread the gap over to the other one just like so. Once you have that in place, you're going to take 3 sticky pistons. You're going to put 1 here, 1 there, and then 1 in the center. Once you have that done, go ahead and come down below, go ahead and put a temporary block there and a temporary block there, and then come back above. Put 3 observers facing up just like this, so the red dots are facing up into the slime block just like so. And you're going to do that one more time over here on the edge, again making sure that the red dot is facing up. And once you have that done, go ahead and take your temporary blocks and break those out. Once you have this in place, then go ahead and come to your piston right here in the front right here. Go ahead and bring some temporary blocks off the side of it and bring it all the way over to your piston just like that. Once it's flush with your piston, go ahead and take yourself an observer, put one facing up so that way the red dot is face up just like this. Skip a block and do the same thing. Make sure that the red dot is facing up, and then skip a block and do the same thing all the way once you get to that piston. Once you get to that piston, go ahead and remove all of your temporary blocks just like this. And now we need to go ahead and put in a few more of these. So we're going to go ahead and put in a few temporary blocks right there and right there. And actually we can just go ahead and put that one temporary block because we're going to have an observer facing in that direction, because if we put it down, it'll get stuck to that slime block and we don't want that. So once we have that in place, then we're going to go ahead and take slime blocks and put them on the faces of all these observers just like this. Then once you have that in place, grab your sticky pistons and put them on the faces of all those slime blocks just like this. And you should see that when you get to the last one, it connects up just like this. Make sure that all your sticky pistons are facing in the right direction, not like me. And once your machine is looking like this, next we need to go ahead and come to this slime block bar right here. We're going to come to the piston down below, and we're going to count 10 pistons, including this one, back in that direction. So here's this bar, here's this piston, here's 1 piston, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then the slime block behind that one, we're going to go ahead and bring this up here just like this. We're going to leave a 1 block gap underneath that, and now we're going to go ahead and double check our count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we're going to go 8, 9, and 10, just like that. At 10 blocks, we're going to put a sticky piston right there, a temporary block underneath it, and then ourselves an observer facing up just like this, so the red dot is facing into that slime block right behind it. After that, we're going to count 10 slime blocks. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, just like this. Then go ahead and do another sticky piston, a temporary block underneath it, then another observer facing up, so the red dot is facing into this slime block right here. Once you have that in place, then go ahead and put 2 slime blocks right here and right there, and then a sticky piston right here in the front facing forward just like that. Then again, put a temporary block down here and an observer facing up to power it, and make sure that the red dot is facing into that slime block. Once you've got this complete, your flying machine is complete. Your whole stone floor generator is almost done. All you need to do now is prime your system. So in order to prime our system, we need to manually dispense all the water and all the lava in a strategic manner. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to come to one side, go ahead and come to one side over here, and then we're going to go ahead and do the water first. And I recommend grabbing yourself a redstone block like I have, and go ahead and just trigger it and make sure that the water gets dispensed and starts flowing in this direction. Next, we're going to do the same thing, but on this side, and you can also see this observer right here. We can take this block out and break it and place it real quick, and if you do it quick enough, it'll go ahead and power it just once without powering it twice from placing the block back, but you have to do that super quick, and then the water will get dispensed. So once you have that in place, next we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to this dispenser right here. So we're going to go ahead and break this block, put a redstone block there, break that block, and then go ahead and replace that block. And if you break that honey block, be sure to replace that. And you should see that all of your water comes out just like this. And it's okay if your lava comes out here like that. Just go ahead and put a block there to make sure it doesn't flow any further. Once you have that in place, then you should be able to go ahead and duplicate that all the way across. So again, we'll do it one more time with you guys. So this one's already flowing like that. We need to come over here and get the one flowing over here. So again, we're going to go ahead and break this block and place it really quickly just like that. So now that that's going, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a redstone block, break this block out, power that really quick, and then go ahead and replace that block before the lava spills out. And then again, if the lava is going to spill out in this direction, which sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, go ahead and just block it off so where it doesn't cause any trouble for you. And then continue to do that all the way down the line to the end. And for some of you, I feel like this might be too hard for you guys to do that, to get that to dispense in one tick just like that, just like I'm doing, where I can do that super quickly. And if that's too hard for you, then grab yourself a redstone block. On the side of this observer right here, go ahead and place a redstone block there, and that'll power both of those, and the water will get dispensed out. And also too, if you find that it's easier, because I'm actually having quite a lot of trouble with the lava flowing over, and I remember doing that when I was engineering this, I actually put myself in a stone wall across the back of it so the lava did not want to flow over the edge. So if you find that to be easier, take yourself some more stone, build yourself a wall behind all of your machine just like this, to where all of your lava will not want to fall off the edge just like it has been. And when you get to the center design here, it's going to be hard for you to break a block and put a redstone block where I've been putting it, because it's going to update one of the observers on one of the sides. So just come around back, go ahead and place yourself in a sticky piston right there. It's going to power that piston. That's no big deal, because it's just going to unpower when you break that. And when you get that all complete, your machine should start looking like this, where you have lava all the way across the board, and you should have stone underneath all of that lava. And if we come down here beneath our glass, you can see underneath that it's all stone just like that. So once you know that you have a bunch of stone there, now your machine's pretty much ready to use. And if you want to AFK on this thing, then you're going to go ahead and put in an AFK platform right on this side, on your center module right here. You're going to come to the side that has this observer, not the side that has the slime block. You're going to come to this side with the observer. Go ahead and place in yourself a block to stand on right there, and this is where you're going to AFK. Once you install your AFK platform, and when you're ready to use this thing, if you want to go around and take a look at everything and make sure that it's all working properly, I definitely recommend getting yourself a second account or a friend to go ahead and AFK right here, so that way you don't deload any of the machine. And because this is 64 blocks long and this is quite wide, you do need to stand right here in the front to load all the chunks to make sure this machine doesn't break while you're flying it. And so you guys can see that I've got my second account on, Broken Bones 624. So there he is right there. He can see you guys. And so now once he's in place, now we're going to go all the way to the back. And if you're going to do this by yourself, you totally can. You don't have to have a second account to do this, but you will have to be right there where he is when you're done doing this. So we're going to go ahead and test our machine for one block. We're going to move this obsidian block one block forward, so this machine only goes one block, because right now we're only going to test it. So go ahead and take yourself a removable block that's quickly removed, and go ahead and put it on top of this, and then go ahead and remove it, and you should see that your machine starts up. Go ahead and come back here, and if you're by yourself, stand on that block. And if you have a friend, now you can go ahead and move around and double check your machine, and you should see that all the lava turns off just like that. And if you look at my machine, I have obviously made a mistake somewhere, and I see my mistake right now. I didn't put any sticky pistons right here, gosh darn it. So now we need to double check that. We need to go ahead and put some sticky pistons there and some sticky pistons there. Obviously you can see that if you forget one little step like that, it can be kind of devastating, but nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and fix it with you guys on camera, because this may or may not happen to you guys, and I want you guys to know how to fix it. So now that we have this problem, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get rid of all the lava. Go ahead and get rid of the lava just like that, and you you can pick it up with a bucket if you want to, so you can put it back in the dispenser. And as you can see, it did not happen to my other side. The other side happened correctly. I just forgot those sticky pistons and it messed up on me. So lesson learned, make sure you double check your machine before you fly it. And then also too, if that happens to the bottom one, I want to show you guys what might happen. As you can see here, the honey and the slime are going to get pulled back, but if one of them gets pulled back and the other one doesn't, the glass block is going to get stuck to the side of the slime block. So you do need to break the glass in order to fix it, which you'll see what I'm talking about when that breaks if you do that incorrectly. But nonetheless, if you do that all correctly, I recommend just double checking everything so that doesn't happen to you guys, because now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to update this, and we're gonna have to pull half the machine in, and then we're gonna have to pull the other half of the machine in, which is not how this machine is supposed to work. It's supposed to work simultaneously all together, but because the top portion of it isn't gonna glue itself together, we're gonna be just fine. So we're gonna go ahead and go just like this. That's gonna go ahead and trigger that. That's gonna pull this side in. Now we can go ahead and break that one. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here to this observer. We're gonna trigger that one. It's gonna pull all of those in, and now we can go ahead and do that. Now once you have that all in place, what we need to do is we need to redo all of our water and lava. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the side. We're going to come right to this dispenser. We're going to put in our water, then put in our lava, and then put in some water over here on the side again. And then of course this one's going to get water too, and all the ones that are facing forward like this are going to get lava. So if you've broken your machine just like I have, you're going to need to do that all the way to the end where your lava is now perfect just like this is. And then once that's the case, you should see that we have all of our lava in place, and our water over here is actually dispensed already, so that one's okay. This is where we have the water, and we had to fix all of those over there. So now that we have all this ready to go, we need to go ahead and do the same thing. We need to dispense these just like this, like we did before. We need to get the water to flow out. Then on this side, we're going to go ahead and power that dispenser just like that to get the lava to flow out just like so. And we should see that that extends all the way to the side just like so, creates more stone just like it does. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to update that observer. It's going to trigger that water. And again, if that's too hard for you, you can place redstone blocks on the back. And then of course over here, we're getting a redstone block and then a regular block just like that to dispense the lava. We need to do that all the way down the line. And of course, that's only if you're a dummy like me and you broke your machine. Now, as you can see, my machine is all fixed up and it's ready to fly again. So just because it breaks doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. You can fix it, and it's actually quite easy. It's really not the end of the world. So just have some confidence in yourself and fix it if you happen to break it on accident, because building a machine of this size is likely to break and you're going to experience some problems. And I recommend just having the confidence in yourself to go ahead and fix it like I just did with you guys on screen right now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and test it one more time, which is exactly why we only did this one block to test it. So now we're going to do it another block to double test it again. So let's go ahead and do one block, and then of course on top of this observer we need to go ahead and strike that there just like that, and that'll start the machine. And now we're going to go up to the front and double check our machine, make sure it all functions properly, and it should this time. I'm very confident it will. So now here goes all the lava all the way across, and now the machines are going to get pulled back, the water gets dispensed, and so does the lava, and more stone is going to generate all the way across. So now that we know that our machine works and it's properly built, let's go ahead and test it for a few blocks. We're going to come out here just like this, maybe 10, 15 blocks or so, and go ahead and do a good substantial test on it to make sure it's going to work properly for a long time. So go ahead and trigger this again. Go ahead and let the system go. It's going to cycle across many, many times until it reaches that obsidian block. And then you should see that when it does this, in between cycles, it's going to go ahead and give the lava enough time to go ahead and regenerate more stone, just like this. So here comes more stone coming across, and the timing between these two circuits allows the lava to disappear, and it does not flow into that trench and cause cobblestone to form. And as you can see, only stone should form, just like it is right there. So as long as that's happening, then you know you built your machine correctly. Go ahead and let it finish its test, and then go ahead and break the obsidian block, and you can fly this as long as you need to and build a floor as big as you need. And now that my machine's been running for some time, I'm just going to go ahead and break the obsidian block now. I'm not going to let it finish its test. It's done testing. I know this thing works, and it's going to work across the board. So let's go ahead and do a little time lapse of it building a floor. So as you guys can see, this thing will just keep going and going and going. This thing was so much fun to build and such an incredible challenge. Thanks to you again there, Redstone Wizard, for challenging me to build this. Big shout out to you there. And I want to give a big shout out again to Nebrian Cent for helping me engineer this, because we worked for about 2 hours one night on this, and it was a lot of fun. So we learned quite a bit. And yeah, I'm going to leave a link to both of their channels, Redstone Wizards and Nebrian Cent, down in the description. So be sure to check both of them out, because both of them are pretty smart. I mean, it's incredible. So big shout out to both of you. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. And if you guys did, be sure to smack the like button for me and subscribe if you guys are new. I'm Broken Bones, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Take it easy, everybody.